Well, we can chat. Yeah, we do. We'll start up. So good afternoon and welcome to the July 9th, 2024 Regina Planning Commission meeting. We acknowledge that we are on traditional lands of the Treaty 4 territory, a treaty signed with 35 First Nations across southern Saskatchewan and parts of Alberta and Manitoba, and the original lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. The City of Regina owes its strength and vibrancy to these lands and the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory, as well as settlers from around the world who continue to be welcomed here and call Regina home. Some members of the Commission and City Administration may be attending the meeting today through video conferencing, and I would like to remind those members of the following. Please ensure that your video camera and microphone are turned off. If a member of the Commission wishes to speak, use the raised hand function to be placed into the speaking queue. When speaking, remember to unmute your microphone and enable your video camera. The reports from today's meeting will be considered by City Council at its meeting scheduled for July 17th, 2024, and the deadline to register as a delegation for the City Council meeting is 12 p.m. on Monday, July 15th, 2024. First order of business is the approval of the agenda. Could I have a motion for approval of the agenda at the call of the chair? Have a move by Mr. Das. Any opposed? Seeing none, that's carried. Adoption of the minutes. Could I have a motion for approval of the minutes of the May 28th and May 31st, 2024 meetings of the Commission? And I'm going to ask the clerk to speak to numerical error in those minutes. Maybe, do you want to do that first? And then we'll move it? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So on the May 31st minutes with respect to item RPC 2416, zoning bylaw amendment 1102 North Fleet Street, there was a typographical error in the vote count. The names of and votes were counted correctly. However, under the results section, it had a typographical error that noted it was 6-2. As noted in the in favor and against sections, it was in fact actually 5-3. As a typographical error, it is something that can be corrected by the clerk. However, if the Commission would like that formally noted on the record, you can move it as part of the minutes approval to have that corrected.
Clear to everyone? Okay. So can we have a motion for approval of the minutes with the recommended change made here? Mr. Sontag is moving that. Are there any other errors or omissions noted? We've got Kathleen joining us, it looks like. Hello, Kathleen. We're just moving adoption of the minutes. There's a small change to the May 31st minutes we just reviewed here. Do you have any other errors or omissions? Hearing none. Are there any opposed? Not seeing any, so that is carried. We will now consider item RPC 24-21, zoning bylaw amendment 1602 and 1650 Winnipeg Street. I will ask Tyson Sellinger to please introduce the report. And I will turn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant is proposing to rezone 1602 and 1650 Winnipeg Street from the mixed large market zone to the mixed high-rise zone. The purpose of the rezoning is to accommodate the applicant's intent to expand the existing automotive repair shop, A&B Auto Body, through an addition to the existing building. This application is solely for the rezoning and not for the proposed development. You may recall that the parcel accommodating this addition was recently rezoned to mixed large market back in April 2024. It was subsequently determined that the mixed high-rise zone is better suited, as this zone accommodates minimal side and rear yard setbacks. This is necessary to align the addition with the existing building setbacks. These details were not known at the time of the previous rezoning by administration. The proposed rezoning conforms with the official community plan, including the core area neighborhood plan, as well as the standards and requirements of the zoning bylaw. Therefore, Our recommendation is for approval. Thank you, and administration can take your questions.
Can I have someone move the recommendation? Councillor Shaw has moved it. Nelson? Sorry, I didn't see it there. Do you wish to speak to the report?
No, I think it's pretty clear here, and your administration recommends it. So there's no brainer. So thank you for that.
Okay. Are there any questions from commission members on the report? Councillor Findura, please.
I mean, I don't know if some folks might be listening out there or watching this thing. Just the changes and the setback. They've just described the difference between why we're changing to involves the setback. Mr. Chair?
Who wants to take that one? Oh, sorry. I didn't see your hand. There you go.
Yeah, thank you, through the chair. And it's a good question. So we didn't have the applicant's plans in terms of what they were proposing to build prior to the previous rezoning. We'd walk through them, with them, the MLM zone, which it was rezoned to in April, and they thought it was going to suit their needs. As they got into more details of their project, there was actually some hangups that they weren't able to fulfill the project to the desired state in the MLM zone. And so the MH zone will suit their needs to fulfill their needs they want to add on to the building and do an addition on some of the other land adjacent to it. So we suggested that they rezone to MH, and they applied for that on their own, and here we are today to ask for that, because the zoning bylaw can only be approved through Planning Commission and Council.
Mr. Chair, thank you. So just looking at the area, it's, there's no, I didn't see it in here, maybe I missed, there's no changes in the traffic movements, their entry and exit from the property as the property is going to get larger. Is there any changes we'll be involved with as they're expanding? Mr. Chair?
Through you, Mr. Chair, not that we're aware of at this time, we'll further review the details of their building design and permit through the development permit stage. This is just for the rezoning so that they can get to that stage.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I have one question for administration. When I reviewed the zoning bylaw earlier, it's a permitted use, it appears, service trade motor vehicle light is a permitted use if the gross floor area is 500 square meters or less. Otherwise, it's a discretionary use. In this instance, I just wanted to know, is there a subsequent application coming that may put it over 500 and therefore be a discretionary use? And who would like to take that one on? Mr. Salinger, third one over.
Yes, so it is a discretionary use, and they will have to apply for that. This application is just for the rezoning, so the discretionary use will be a separate file.
Thank you. Just one follow-up then. It's mixed high-rise and it's an auto body. It does seem a little like it's a bit of a forced fit there. Was there any other thought to any other zone or a DCD zone perhaps? Dawson?
I think through you, Ms. Chair, it's a good question, and we've found that the mixed high-rise zone is somewhat misleading, but just by their name, just by the name of it, and so looking at some opportunities there into the future, but yeah, this zone fits, and we were satisfied that it was going to suit their needs after seeing what their proposal was. It's for commercial areas, and we have no concerns with it.
Okay, one more follow-up. From the current zone to the mixed high-rise, can you just maybe at a high level characterize the difference in setbacks? It's probably not massively significant, but just explain it to us.
Yes, with the current MLM zone, the MLM zone is intended to fit large commercial retail spaces, such as big box office stores. So they do have wide setbacks. For example, anything under 8.5 meters to 6 meters, any portion of the building over 8.5 meters to 7.5 meters. Whereas the MH zone, the high-rise, any portion under 8.5 meters is 1.2, whereas any portion of the building over 8.5 meters is 3.25 meters. So yes, overall the high-rise zone supports smaller setbacks.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from, we've got a new question. Mr. Sontag, please.
No, there we are. I just have, I thought I'd save this question till the end. So first of all, I don't want to drag this meeting on too much longer. No, I'm kidding. But my question was really when I saw this, first of all, is there an issue of timing that it's urgent to get this approved? I'm not in opposition at all. I'm fully supportive. But my question was, how is it determined? So that my question is to the officials, but my question is also generally probably to the clerk's office. How is it determined that we would have a meeting like for 10 minutes or something like that? I don't know how we determine that. I'm not opposed to it. It's just a question. Okay, thanks. Yep. If they answer in the affirmative, then that answers my question entirely.
Yes, through the chair, could you repeat the question?
So my question to the officials is there an issue of timing that it needs to be done, this needs to be approved fairly quickly for the development to move forward?
Through the chair, there is no required time. Obviously, the applicant would like it sooner than later, but there's no urgent deadline. Of course, sooner than later so they can start building, but there's no hard deadline.
Okay. So my second question, go ahead. I think you've got it. Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So in the past, there was a longer break over the summer for the Regina Planning Commission. However, in the interest of not holding up developments in a short construction season, it was determined that it would be best to hold a meeting. Even if it is short, it's sometimes difficult to determine what might catch interest or bring more questions.
Okay.
And so we fall outside of the council break. We're still in that time where we can have a meeting, and we do appreciate the dedication of all of the citizen members and the council members as well.
That answers my question. Thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a highlight for me to get together with all of you, but thank you.
Yeah, just a small comment, and I'm sure we can move on briefly, but I just wanted to echo the chair's comment. Just generally, I think, obviously, moving it to mixed high-rise is a little counterintuitive based on, it's a commercial property. It's clearly a business. And I know you understand that, and I know there's tremendous value and flexibility in trying to just, meet developmental needs. But in the big picture, I mean, I think ideally we would want to classify businesses, especially light industrial, something like this, as businesses, as commercial businesses, as a market zone, as opposed to what I think most public people would assume is a residence on high rise, right? So I totally get it, but moving forward, I mean, it could just also bring a bit of consistency, and I kind of heard administration intimate that maybe down the road there's probably value in sort of bringing some degree of consistency and clarity to the zoning designations. I just think really simply, just when I used to do market research or business development planning, and I wanted to know like what percentage of the city is zoned light commercial or commercial, in theory it would miss this because it's now mixed high-rise. I wouldn't have known even to ask the question that there's businesses located on mixed high-rise, right? So to me, it's just counterintuitive and not that efficient. So it's just more of a comment than anything. And it's maybe just something to take back as a, you know, could there be some greater consistency brought to the zoning?
Thank you, through the chair. So I appreciate that comment. I actually wanted to make comment back to Commissioner Sontag's question. And I know the clerk answered the question, but typically we, you know, as applications come in, we do like to see them processed. We have certain service levels and standards that we try and maintain and move forward. So we're consistently supporting new development as it come into play. And then there's certain surveys like municipal benchmarking and things like that where we're measured against other cities and communities. So we try and keep those things in mind as we see these applications and how we process things through. So I hope that helps answer your question.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none, Councillor Nelson, as the mover, would you like to close debate? Okay. Then I'll ask the clerk to start the vote.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chair. Councillor Nelson.
In favor.
Okay. Commissioner Doss.
In favor.
Commissioner Sontag.
In favor.
Commissioner Adams.
In favor.
Commissioner Wilson.
In favor.
Councillor Findura.
In favor.
And Mr. Chair.
In favor.
Motion is carried unanimously.
Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Motion by Councillor Nelson. Any opposed? All right, looks carried. The meeting is adjourned. She beat you to it there.